welcome to Jay's Reviews. Just in time to make you even colder, we're stepping into Outpost Siberia. In this game, your group is trying to survive the forces of nature around you. Make sure you pull your resources together or you might not make it. Let's hit the table. Outpost Siberia by IDW Games. Plays 2 to 6 players. Ages 12 and up, plays in about 30 minutes. Game setup. In this game there are 4 types of cards. Character cards, threat cards, good events, bad events. Anatomy of the card. Character cards. This card shows your character's abilities and HP. Threat cards are monsters that you will fight throughout the game. On the card you can see the damage they will deal you, their HP, and potential abilities they have. Good events are generally good things for the team. Bad events are generally not good for the team. First, we have to set up the expedition deck. Shuffle each of the following decks separately. Threats, good events, bad events. It is at this point that you will pick what difficulty you will play the game. Easy has 8 good events and 4 bad events. Normal has 6 good events and 6 bad events. Hard has 4 good events and 8 bad events. All cards are picked at random for this step. You can also customize your difficulty. To do this, you must have 12 event cards in total. Once you have picked your difficulty, set aside those 12 cards. Place all other event cards to the side. We will use them later. Next, randomly take out 6 cards from the threat deck. Put these cards aside for now. Shuffle the 12 event cards and the remaining threat cards together. This is now the expedition deck. Place this in the middle of your play area with the yellow edge facing the edge of the play area. Second deck we will set up is the outpost deck. Take all the other event cards and shuffle them together. This is the outpost deck. Place this next to the expedition deck with the blue edge facing the play area. Next, each player picks a character. There's a total of 6 characters, each with their own abilities that will help the team out throughout the game. Once the group has picked their characters, each person gets an HP tracker for their character card. Last, give each player one of the discarded threats. This will be the player's opening hand. Any leftover discarded threats cards are placed back in the box. Now you're ready to play. On the table now you will have 2 decks and each player's character card. The space above the 2 decks is the threat zone. The space below the deck is the supply zone. The space between the 2 decks is the discard. All cards are discarded here. How to play. At the start of a round, players pick which order they will play their characters. Player's turn goes as follows. 1. Draw 3 outpost cards. Keep 1 card for your hand. 1 card placed into the supply. Discard the last card. Note, if you run out of cards for the outpost deck, shuffle up the discard pile. This is now the new outpost deck. 2. Attack threats. You can use any number of cards from your hand to do this. Note, to kill a threat, you must bring it to 0 HP and then hit it with a weapon from the supply. If a threat is killed, the threat card and all cards used to damage and kill the threat are discarded. 3. Use equipment cards. You can use any number of cards from the supply on your turn for this. There are 3 kinds of equipment cards. Flare. This stops the ability of a threat for a round. First aid kit. Heals any player by 1 HP. Weapons. Ice axe and flamethrower are used as the final blow to a threat. 4. Draw a card from the expedition deck and follow what the card says to do. In most cases, you will take 1 hit of damage. Remember, for this deck, you get 1 of 3 kinds of cards. Good events, bad events, or threats. Note, when taking damage from the expedition deck, only characters that are not exhausted can do this, so be careful in which order you play in. 5. Exhaust your character card. Simply tap your character card to show that you have used it this round. Continue playing till all players have had a turn. This ends the round, and threats that are still in the threat zone activate their abilities. Unexhaust character cards and start a new round. The game ends if one of the following happens. The players lose if one player hits 0 health, or there are 5 threats in the threat zone at the end of any player's turn. The players win once all cards in the expedition deck have been drawn and endured. This simply means that you have to have drawn the last card and been able to take the hit or pay the cost for that card from the expedition deck. So we've played this with a number of different player group sizes to see if there was a sweet spot for this game. There really isn't one. We also found that it doesn't scale all that well. We've played this about 15 times and didn't win once. I understand that the game is supposed to be hard, but when it's hard enough that even playing it on easy, you still can't get through half of the expedition deck, there seems to be some balance issues. Maybe if they fixed something with the HP of some of the threats, or maybe if they made a character that dealt damage instead of made items, that might balance it out some more, but overall the experience was more frustrating than fun. The way that discard works in this game is very interesting, how everything becomes an item you can use later on. Unfortunately, there's no way to thin out that particular deck so that you're always getting strong cards, and I find that's a weakness in this game. Overall, cool concept, but needs to be revisited for scale and balance. We did play this game just out of the box and with the updated rules, and still found that there was still a lot that needed to be worked on. Unfortunately, this game doesn't make the shelf, but we may revisit it once it has more updated rules. See you next week at the table.